See major transaction, section 185. A company shall not enter into any major transaction unless such transaction is A, approved or contingent on approval by a special resolution, B, consented to in writing by all the shareholders of the company, or C, is expressly authorized by a provision in the articles which was included in it at the time the company was incorporated. Then major transaction means the acquisition or the disposition of the whole or more than 50% of the value of the assets of the company, acquiring rights or interests or incurring obligations or liabilities of a value which is greater than 50% of the assets. C, transactions which have the purpose or effect of substantially altering the nature of the business carried on by the company. Right? But before that, we have to highlight these sections, no? Did we highlight section 192? 192, section 192. Disclosure of interest. 190 venakang api me karada 190 highlighted. 192 in page 154. We didn't highlight, quickly highlight. A director of a company shall forthwith, after becoming aware of the fact that he is interested in a transaction or proposed transaction with the company, cause to be entered in the interest register, and if the company has more than one director, disclose to the board of the company the nature and extent of the interest. Then section 197, use of company information in page 156. A director of a company who has information in his capacity as a director or employee of the company which would not otherwise be available to him shall not disclose that information to any person or make use of or act on the information except A, for the purposes of the company, B, as required by law, C, in accordance with subsection 2, or D, in any other circumstances in which the company's articles authorize the director to do so. Right? Then 219 in page number 176, 219 subsection 1, a director of a company who believes that the company is unable to pay its debts as they fall due shall forthwith call a meeting of the board to consider whether the board shall apply to court for the winding up of the company and the appointment of a liquidator or an administrator, or carry on further the business of the company. Then 220 in 177, duty of directors on serious loss of capital. If at any time If at any time it appears to a director of a company that the net assets of the company are less than half of its stated capital, the board shall, within 20 working days of that fact becoming known to the director, call an extraordinary general meeting of shareholders of the company for the purpose of this section to be held not later than 40 working days from that date of calling of such meeting. Harda, so those things highlight. Then section 184, in page number 149, it says management of company subject to the provisions contained in the articles of a company. The business and affairs of the company shall be managed by or under the direction or supervision of the board of the company. B, the board of a company shall have all the powers necessary for managing and for directing and supervising the management of the business and affairs of the company. Harida, then let's go to major transaction. What is major transaction? Major transaction right, what is the definition of major transaction? Major transaction basically means, right, definition, right, it says the acquisition or disposition of the whole or more 50% of the value of the assets of the company, increasing or decreasing I will put like this. Assets increasing or decreasing by 50%. Assets increasing or decreasing by 50%. B, acquiring rights or interest or incurring obligations or liabilities of a value which is greater than 50% of the assets. Right? Liabilities increasing or decreasing by 50%. Right? And transactions which have the purpose or effect of substantially altering the nature of the business carried on by the company. Right? Substantially altering the nature of the business. Transaction so definition of major transaction is, right, briefly stating assets increasing or decreasing by 50%, liabilities increasing or decreasing by 50%, transactions were substantially altering the nature of the business. Harida, so if you see major transaction means, let's see again, the acquisition or the disposition. Acquisition means atpat karaganna. Disposition means bahara karna. You remove. Acquiring means you get. of the whole or more than 50%. Right? If it is more than, if everything or more than 50% of the value of the assets of the company, from the asset value 50%. Then B, acquiring rights. අයිතිවාසිකම් අත්පත් කරගන්නවා. Or interests or incurring obligations or liabilities. So you get liabilities or you give off liabilities of a value which is greater than 50% of the assets. Again, that 50% of the assets, 50% not of the liabilities but the assets, right? Asset position of the company, right? So 50%. When you say 50%, it means asset value 50%. 50% means 50% of the asset value. Asset value of the company. Harda, this 50% means. Then, in other words, වත්කම් භාගයට වඩා වැඩි වෙනවා අඩු වෙනවා. කිම් භාගයට වඩා වැඩි වෙනවා අඩු වෙනවා නම් it's a major transaction. Then transactions which have the purpose or effect of substantially altering the nature of the business carried on by the company. Transactions which are substantially altering, right? Substantially changing the nature of the business. ඒ කියන්නේ හොඳටම වෙනස් වීමක් තියෙනවා. අපි ගමු individually you. Let's say you have assets. ඒ assets වලින් ඔයාගාව තියෙන ඔක්කොම සල්ලි ටික හරි ඒ සල්ලි වලින් භාගයක් හරි ඔයා දන් දෙන්න හිතනවා. එහෙම ඔයා හිතනවා නම් ඔයා ඒක ගැන අම්මා තාත්තගෙන් අහන්න ඕනේද වචනයක් හරි? හස්බන්ඩ් ගෙන් වචනයක් හරි අහන්න ඕනේද? Whoever who is. Yes or no? Yes. තනි මතයට දෙන්න බෑ. තේරුණාද? තනි මතයට දෙන්න බෑ. Now the effect of major transaction is what? How is a major transaction should be entered into? Procedure in a major transaction. What is the procedure in a major transaction? Approved or contingent on approval by special resolution. Approve by special resolution. Two, consented to in writing by all the shareholders. Consented in writing by all shareholders. And number 3, expressly authorized by a provision of the articles which was included in the time of the company was incorporated. Articles permit it. Harda, so this will be by directors. Special resolution means 75%. Right? Sorry. Other way around, more than 75%. Harda? Right? So what is a major transaction? Major transaction is, right, it is approved by more than 75% of the directors. And also it is consented to in writing by all shareholders. And the articles also must permit it. Then you can enter into such major transaction. Right? So major transaction is a very big decision. ලොකු ඩිසිෂන් එකක්. හරියට කසාද බඳිනවා වගේ වැඩක්. හරිද? කසාද බඳින්න යනකොට what percentage of your heart should say go and marry that person? ඔව්. ඔයාගේ හිත කියනවනේ මැරි කරන්න කියලා. ඔයාගේ හිත කියන්න ඕනේ මුළු හිතම කියන්න ඕනේද නැත්නම් 100ට කීයක හිතක් කියන්න ඕනේද මෙයා තමයි එක්කෙනා මෙයාව මැරි කරන්න කියලා. ඔව් 50% කිව්වොත් 25% කිව්වොත් මෙයා තමයි එක්කෙනා මැරි කරන්න කියලා. හරිද? 25% of your heart says go and do it. Do you do it? No. That is you are in the minority still. Then more than 50% of your heart is saying go and do it. දෙන්නට දෙන්න ගැලපෙනවා more than 50%. Do you get married? Yes or no? No. 50% not enough. එහෙනම් 100% වෙනකන් ඉන්නවද? Should your whole heart say මෙයා තමයි මිනිහා go and get married කියලා? No, you will never meet a 100% match. You will never meet a 100% match. But more than 75? Yes. If more than 75% of your heart is saying, this is the man, this is the woman, then yes. Understood? Don't wait until 100%. After that, what should you do? ඒක විතරක් ඇතිද? No, you must go and ask from your parents. කරන්න පුළුවන්ද කියලා. Should your family agree for it? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. When it comes to a marriage, it's a social thing. Love is an individual thing. Marriage is a social thing. අම්මයි තාත්තයි එපා කියන මිනිහව මැරි කරනවද? මැරි කරනවා නම් පැනලා යන්න ලෑස්ති වෙලා නේ ඉන්න ඕනේ. රයිට්? අම්මයි තාත්තයි එපා කියන එක්කෙනාව මැරි කරලා ඊට පස්සේ මොනවද වෙන්නේ මොන හරි වුණත් අම්මයි තාත්තයි කියයි අපි උඹට කිව්වා. අපි උඹට කිව්වා. නේ ඔළුව කයි. Understood? So you need to get consent. Family members also. You need to get everybody's consent, right? Because what happens if something goes wrong? They will not be behind you. They will say, "Api kalin kiwwa thamai oata eka karanne epa kiyala. Oane kare one kami api danne naha." They will not protect. Right? Now here is the director protected if he does a major transaction. Yes, if he follows this procedure. Right? If not, he is not protected. Right? He will become personally liable. Right? And also articles permit it. The law should permit it. Oyat kamathi more than 75% have America run. Oyage family ekat kamathi එයාව මැරි කරන්න හැබැයි නීතියෙන් කියනවා එයාව මැරි කරන්න බෑ කියලා. Foreigner කෙනෙක් of the same sex නේ අපි ගමු කොල්ලෙක් ඒ කොල්ලා ඒ කෙල්ලට 75%කට වඩා කැමති. ඒ කොල්ලගේ අම්මා තාත්තත් කැමති ඒ කෙල්ලට. හැබැයි පස්සේ බලනකොට ඇත්තට මේ කෙල්ලෙක් නෙමෙයි කොල්ලෙක්. එහෙනම් මැරි කරන්න පුළුවන්ද? According to law you can't. Right? So all this has to be fulfilled, right, to enter into a major transaction. Right? And you see what is a major transaction? Major transaction means, right, assets are increasing by 50% or liabilities are increasing or decreasing by 50%, substantially altering the nature of the business. After you marry, are you the same person? After you marry, you are your father's daughter or your husband's wife. After you marry your father's daughter or husband's wife, you are different. ඔයාගේ නම වෙනස් වෙයි. Your nature will change. Earlier ඔක්කොම හිතුවේ තනියෙන්, දැන් දෙන්නෙක් ගැන හිතන්න ඕනේ. No, substantially you will change. Right? Substantially you will change. Right? So if the nature of the business is going to substantially change, you need to follow this procedure because it's a major transaction, big transaction, right? So that's what it says here. Let's read again. A company shall not enter into any transaction unless such transaction is approved or contingent on approval by special resolution. Contingent on approval means what? In future it will be approved. Either it's approved or in future it is supposed to approve. Then be consented to in writing by the shareholders of the company. Shareholders la tokkome agree vela. Then C is expressly authorized by a provision in the articles which was included in at the time the company was incorporated. The articles also is permitting you to do it, right? Originally you had the power to do it. Then major transaction means the acquisition or the disposition of the whole or more than 50% of the value of the assets of the company. B, acquiring rights or interests or incurring obligations or liabilities of a value which is greater than 50% of the assets. C, transactions which have the purpose or effect of substantially altering the nature of the business carried on by the company. Right, so that is a major transaction. So let's see 2017 December 3B question. 2017 December 3B question. Let's see. The total assets of Dharman Private Limited, DPL, as at 30th December 2017 were rupees 10 million. DPL plans to acquire a land on 31st December 2017 for rupees 8 million. The directors of DPL are concerned as to whether this transaction amounts to a major transaction or not. Right? So the total assets of Dharman Private Limited is 10 million. They are planning to acquire a land worth 8 million. Harida, the directors of DPL are concerned as to whether this transaction amounts to a major transaction. So tell me, is it a major transaction? Yes or no? Yes. 10 million nang තියෙන්නම company assets worth 10 million. 8 million වලට ගන්නවා තව ලොකු ඉඩමක්. So that is more than, right, 50% increase of the assets. Required, discuss the manner in which DPL can enter into this transaction in accordance with the provisions of the Companies Act number 7 of 2007. Right, quickly start writing what is the procedure. Okay, so what are we going to write? Discuss the manner in which DPL can enter into transaction in accordance with the provisions of the Companies Act number 7 of 2007. We'll write. This is a major transaction. This is a major transaction in terms of section 185(2) subsection A of the Companies Act. 185(2) subsection A of the Companies Act number 7 of 2007. Next point. Since the company is acquiring 8 million worth of land, it is more than 50%. It is more than 50% of the value of the assets. Value of assets of the company, which is 10 million. Assets of the company being 10 million. Assets of the company being 10 million. Right? In terms of section 185, subsection 1, a company should enter into a major transaction in the following manner. A, pass a special resolution. Pass a special resolution. B, obtain all the shareholders' consent in writing. Obtain all the shareholders' consent in writing. Then C, such transaction should be expressly authorized by the articles. Right? Then let's go to 2016 December 4B. 2016 December 4B. I think a similar question. 2016 December 4B. Tasty Tea Private Limited was incorporated under the Companies Act number 7 of 2007 on 1st January 2016. An extract of its balance sheet as at 31st March 2016 was as follows. Total non-current assets 200,000, total current assets 100,000. So total assets 300,000. The directors plan to obtain a loan of 175,000 from the Colombo Bank PLC. Is it a major transaction? Yes. Analyze whether the proposed transaction can be treated as a major transaction under the Act. and outline how the company can enter into the proposed transaction. Right? Similar question as 2017 December 3B. So the answer is also as similar as that. Right? Then let's go to the tute. Corporate governance. Ek homework karanna. Similar questions, do it at home. Corporate governance. Corporate governance is, in essence, is the system by which companies are directed and controlled in the proper manner. Proper manner. The board of directors are particularly responsible for the performance, for the governance of that company, and it is noted that the rules, codes and directives all indicative that it is a proper governance that is required and not mere governance. Mere governance. Then number 3, the code of best practice in this regard has been established by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka, which relate to A, financial aspects of corporate governance. Corporate governance. B, the code of best practice on audit committees. On audit committees. C, the code of best practice on corporate governance. Fourth one, the code of best practice on corporate governance states that directors are accountable to the shareholders and the shareholder participation is necessary to make that accountability effective. Fifth one, this should be done in a structured manner so as to progressive, effective and fair, and not to in any way hamper the overall business objectives of the company. Sixth one, in this regard, the responsibilities of the board include setting the company's aims, providing the correct leadership to put them into effect, supervising the management of the business, and reporting to the shareholders. On their upright stewardship. Seventh one, it is particularly noted that while the voluntary code of best practice on corporate governance is, as the name suggests, voluntary in relation to listed companies, the mandatory code of corporate governance has also been adopted in 2008, which provides minimum regulations with regard to corporate governance. Eighth one, particularly this code deals with A, the inclusion of non-executive directors and independent directors. B, the requirement of disclosures relating to directors. C, setting out a criteria to define independence. And D, setting up a remuneration committee and an audit committee in listed companies. Right, what is corporate governance? Corporate governance is basically how companies are controlled by its directors. Right, how companies are controlled by its directors. Right? Generally, how do we measure success? How do we measure success? By profits. When it comes to companies, we measure success by profits. When it comes to individual, we measure success. How rich you are. Nay, how much rich an individual is, that person is successful. Is that correct? Is that correct? Right? But sadly, that is the measure that is the criteria on which we measure success. If a company has lot of money, that company is a successful company. If a person has lot of money, he is a successful person. Right? If I ask, tell me the names of a successful person, what will you say? Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, no, Mark Zuckerberg, they are all successful people. Will any one of you will tell Lord Buddha, no, Mother Teresa? Will you say? You won't. Mahatma Gandhi, you won't say. Why? They were poor. They were poor. You wouldn't say, because you always think from the view of money. Money. But actually it is not the case. It should be, if it is an individual, happiness. If it is an individual, it should be happy. Are you happy? Right? If you are a happy person, you might not have money. But if you are a happy person, you are a successful person. People who have money, are they necessarily happy? They are not. Right now, only problem is, in this modern world, we have messed with our priorities. Right? We think money is happiness. It's not the case. Same thing in companies also, making profits is not happiness. Right? And if you might take a rich fellow, take a rich person. Right? Uta මිනිස්සු බයිනවද? සාප කරනවද? නේ, yes or no? Yes. ඒ මිනිහා මැරුණොත් කියයිද ඔක හොඳ වෙලාවට මැරුණේ? Yes. Right? But if you take a good person, right? If you take a good person, if that person dies, you will be sad about it. Nay. If a successful person dies, you will not be sad about it. But a person who was good, who has been good to you, right? Who has been a good human being, you will feel sad about it. Now, what this corporate governance is trying to do is trying to cultivate good qualities in a company. Right? A company as an artificial legal person should have some good qualities. Corporate governance tries to promote good qualities in a company. Because companies generally are after profit. බල්ලෝ මරලා හරි කමක් නැහැ, අපි ලාභය තමයි උපයන්නේ. They don't want it now to happen. Now they want more corporate governance, where you, the directors, manage the company in a good way, not necessarily in a profitable way. So that's what it says. The corporate governance, in essence, is the system by which companies are directed and controlled in the proper manner. The board of directors of a company are particularly responsible for the governance of that company, and it is noted that the rules, codes, and directives all indicate that it is proper governance that is required and not mere governance. Right? Attenma honda company ak. Truly a good company. Truly a good person. Now, like when it comes to persons also, we tell no, මෙයා නම් ඇත්තටම හොඳයි. සමහර කට්ටිය ඉන්නවා නේ හොඳ බව පෙන්නනවා. ඇත්තටම හොඳ නෑ. But they show off. Companies are good at showing off. Companies are good at showing off, saying, we are doing this, we are doing that. It's not the case. You should be actually good. It's not a mere governance, right? A proper governance. Then the code of best practice in this regard has been established by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka, which relate to financial aspects of corporate governance, the code of best practice on audit committees, the code of best practice on corporate governance. So from time to time, ethical behavior. What is ethical behavior? Good behaviors. Morally correct behavior. Api gamu, you are a lawyer. You are a brilliant lawyer. If a drug dealer comes and says, please appear for me and save me, will you take that case? You are a brilliant lawyer. You can save any criminal. Will you take that case and do it? Yes or no? You are a doctor. A terrorist comes and tells you to treat a terrorist onna menna marenne inne. Right? Do you allow him to die or do you treat him? Right? So those are ethical dilemmas. මොනාරි කරන්න ගියාම පගාවක් දීලා වැඩේ කරගන්නවද ටක් ගාලා එහෙම නැත්නම් පොලිමේ ඉඳන් වැඩේ කරනවද No, those are ethical things. Most of the time, you know, in Sri Lanka, people don't give a damn about ethics. Right? Paga denawa, right? Bribe karanawa, undercutting, this thing, that thing, all the bad things. Like, let's take politicians. Ne, if you take politicians, madaka gannawa, ne, right? Do they do a proper thing without plastics? They say, කියනවා විතරයි නේ. Poster අලවන්නේ, plastic use කරන්නේ, ශබ්ද පරිසර දූෂණය කරන්නේ. All those things they tell, but they do it. They are just cutting විතරයි කියන්නේ ක්‍රියාවෙන් නෑ. හැබැයි එහෙම ක්‍රියාවෙන් කරන කට්ටිය දිනනවද? No, there is a problem also. In our systems, let's say you are a politician and you are sticking to all the good deeds. Will you win? කවුරු හරි ඔයාට බැන්නොත් ඔයා බනින්න නැතුව එයාට මෛත්‍රී කරන්න ගියොත් will people vote for you? No, you have to scold. ගැව්වොත් ගහන්න ඕනේ, තග දැම්මොත් තග දාන්න ඕනේ. That has happened. That's the system. But what the corporate governance says is clean the system, right? So that is why they have bought these rules. These are not rules, they are like ethical guidelines. In 1997, in 2007, 2002, in 2003. Then in fourth one says the Code of Best Practice on Corporate Governance states that directors are accountable to the shareholders and shareholder participation is necessary to make that accountability effective. Now, who will get the company to do bad things? Directors. Who can stop the directors doing bad things? Shareholders. But shareholders are not concerned. Shareholders are expecting from directors what? Profits. So directors also know profits aran dunnot tamai shareholders la apita vote karla apiwa e job එකේ තියාගන්නේ. ඒ හින්දා directors ලා බල්ලෝ මරලා හරි කමක් නැහැ, they bring in profits. But if shareholders say no, don't do that, මට මෙහෙම හම්බ කරන සල්ලි එපා කියලා, when the directors will be good? Yes or no? Let's say your father is a drug dealer. Your father is a drug dealer and he is giving you lot of pocket money. Right? For a day he is giving you 50,000 pocket money. Will you go and tell your father, Tati, කුඩු බිස්නස් කරන්න එපා තාත්තා. අපිට මට රුපියල් 5ක් දුන්නත් ඇති. මේ කුඩු බිස්නස් කරන්න එපා කියලා will you tell? No. Same thing with shareholders. Shareholders are happy by getting the money. They don't care how directors do it. But what the corporate governance says is no, shareholders should tell the directors don't do bad things, and they must stop directors causing the company doing bad things. Then fifth one, this should be done in a structured manner so as to be progressive, effective and fair, and not in any way hamper the overall business objectives of the company. Now, can you become good overnight? Can you become good overnight? No. This world is a bad world. Harida, all the others are cheating, lying, robbing, stealing. If you want to survive in this world, you also have to do the same thing. Nee, දැන් අපි ගමු ඔයා ජනාධිපති අපේක්ෂක නම් අනිත් අපේක්ෂකයෝ ඇත්ත පොරොන්දුද දෙන්නේ බොරු පොරොන්දුද දෙන්නේ? ඇත්ත පොරොන්දුද දෙන්නේ බොරු පොරොන්දුද දෙන්නේ? මොනවද දෙන්නේ? ඇත්තද බොරුද? බොරුනේ දෙන්නේ ඔක්කොම. Can you say අනේ ඒගොල්ලන් බොරු කිව්වට මට බොරු කියන්න බෑ කියලා ඔයා පොරොන්දු නොදී ඉන්නවද? If you don't give any promises, what happens? You will not get vote. You will not get vote. ඔයත් තරංගෙට දෙනවා වගේ ඔයත් දෙන්න ඕනේ බොරු පොරොන්දු. එතකොට තමයි ඔයාටත් ඡන්ද වැටෙන්නේ. Understood? So, it's like this. You can't be the only good person in this world. You try to do everything correctly, whereas others are doing shortcut. ඒකත් තියෙනවා. So it's like this. You have to balance it. You can't be too good also. If you are going to be too good, you can't do business in this world. නේ දැන් අපි ගමු මාකටිං කරනකොට ගොඩක් කලාට ඔය මාකටිං කරනකොට how do they market? උන්ට වාසි වෙන විදියටද ඔයාට වාසි වෙන විදියටද? නේ විකුණන එක්කනට වාසි වෙන විදියට. නිකන් හරි කිව්වොත් මේක ගන්න එපා, මේක වැඩි, මේක වාට වැඩක් නෑ, මේක සල්ලි දීලා ගන්න එපා කියලා. නේ then will you do a sale? You won't. මිනිසුත් හිතයි මූ මහා පිස්සෙක් නේ කියලා. මූ මහා පිස්සෙක් නේ කියලා. අපි ගමු ડોක්ටර් කෙනෙක් ගාවට ගියාම ලෙඩ වෙලා ડોක්ටර් කෙනෙක් ගාවට යනවා. ගියාම what does the doctor do? Will give you a battery of test. නේ ගොඩාක් ටෙස්ට් ලියලා කියනවා මේ ටෙස්ට් ටික ඔක්කොම කරන් එන්න. ඔයා කරන් එනවා. right? දැන් ඔය ගොඩක් වෙලාට ඔය නාකි කට්ටිය අරන් ගියාම නේ නාකි කට්ටිය ලෙඩ වෙන්නේ මොනවා හින්දාද? නාකි හින්දා. නේ ගොඩක් වෙලාට ඔය 80 පෙන්නට පස්සේ නේ ලෙඩ වෙන්නේ. right? Because they are old. Their organs are failing. ඒකට බෙහෙත් දීලා හදා ගන්න පුළුවන්ද? බෑ. The doctors know it. But what will the doctors say? Go and get all these tests. Proper doctor කෙනෙක් නම් කියයි අනේ මේක නම් හදන්න බෑ. එයා දැන් ඉතින් මැරෙන්න තමයි ඉන්නේ. කවදා හරි මැරෙන්න එපා. So just keep him pain killers විතරක් දීලා manage කරන් ඉන්න කියනවා. But some doctors are there, they will give you so many tests to do, and you will spend lot of money. Right? By that, what happens? The hospital will make profits. Doctor will make profits. අපි ගමු ආ ડોක්ටර් කෙනෙක් කියලා. ඔයා එන හැම patient-ම කියනවා අනේ මේකට බෙහෙත් ඕනේ නැහැ. නිකම් හරියයි දැන් උණ එම්බ්‍රිසාවට එනවනේ. but උණ එම්බ්‍රිසා හැම නිකන් හිටියොත් හරියනවද? හවුද නැද්ද? ඔව් දවස් 3කින් හරියනවා. but when you go, can the doctor say ඒව හරියයි දවස් 3කින් උණ බහැලයි යන්න ගෙදර යන්න ෆීස් එපා කියලා? no. doctor's wife, your wife will come and say, "Tamsara pisu doi, api kanne monawada kiyala kiyai." You will have to write something. Now that is what you must remember. When you go on the first day itself to the doctor, doctor will write a medicine, but he will write antibiotics. Kelima dila dana antibiotics, but that is not good. That is not good. But doctor aapu ekata behet denne epa. Gedara yawuwot meyata fees gannath bෑනේ. So that is also there. You have to balance that also. Your income as well as being good. That's what it says here. And in this regard, the responsibilities of the board include setting the company's aims, providing the correct leadership to put them into effect, supervising the management of the business, and reporting to the shareholders on their upright stewardship. Right? So what it says is, the responsibilities of the board is what? When it comes to corporate governance, setting the company's aims, මේවා තමයි අපේ අරමුණු. Providing the correct leadership. Right? If the seniors, if the top management do the correct thing, automatically the juniors will do the correct thing. අම්මා තාත්තා හරි දේ කරනවා නම් ළමයිත් හරි දේ කරයිද? ඔව්. No. Then supervising the management of the business, they must supervise also whether the correct thing is done and reporting to the shareholders. හරි දේ වෙනවද කියලා they must report also. Then it says, it is particularly noted that while the voluntary code of best practice on corporate governance is, as the name suggests, voluntary, in relation to listed companies, the mandatory code of corporate governance has also been adopted in 2008, which provides minimal regulations with regard to corporate governance. Normally, these are voluntary, but in 2008, they bought a mandatory code. If you want to get listed in the Colombo Stock Exchange, you had to follow this mandatory code of ethics, right? Mandatory code of corporate governance. So that is why you will see certain companies are doing CSR activities, corporate social responsibility activities. Then they are thinking about the environment. I think some garment factory became 100% carbon neutral, no? 100% environmental friendly. Now tell me, එහෙම 100% environmental friendly when do they have to spend lot of money? Yes or no? Yes. Then why are they doing it? Because they love the environment? No, because now there are mandatory codes. The customers are also demanding, be a corporate, socially, corporate, a responsible corporate citizen. Then only we will buy. Now, especially in EU countries, USA and all, right? They see from the supplier that they buy, that supplier is, right, conforming to minimum human rights standards, environmental standards, labor standards, like that. Understood? So that is part of corporate governance. Then it says particularly this code deals with the inclusion of non-executive directors and independent directors. We learned non-executive directors are generally not involved in the implementation. So what happens when you have non-executive directors? They will supervise. ගොඩක් වෙලාවට ඒගොල්ලන් ඒක supervise කරනවා. මේ දේ හරියට වෙනවද නැද්ද කියලා. When you have executive directors, they don't supervise the shortcomings. So that's why they have told you need to have non-executive directors. Then be the requirement of disclosures relating to directors. The directors must disclose, right? And C, setting out a criteria to define independence, right? And also How do you define independence? ගොඩක් වෙලාවට ඔය companies වල මේවා වෙලා තියෙන්නේ ඔක්කොම connected to each other. Right? ගොඩක් වෙලාවට ඔය හොර බොරු වංචා වැඩ වෙන්නේ if everybody is connected, like what happened in the central bank. Why did Arjun Mahendran and Arjun Aloysius get together and steal? Because they are connected. No, either relatives, yaluo. So you should always try to appoint people independent, not connected. Husband and wife dennama ekama thanai me appoint kara nan. And another good example is Maitri Ranilui. Maitri Ranilui ගහගත්තනේ. ඇයි ගහගත්තේ? මෛත්‍රී කරපු හොර වැඩ ටික රනිල් ඇල්ලුවා. රනිල් කරපු හොර වැඩ ටික මෛත්‍රී ඇල්ලුවා. That's the best thing that happened to Sri Lanka. No, whatever said and done, උන් ගහගත්තට නේ during this government, no, දෙන්නම charter වුණානේ. මෛත්‍රී කරපු හොර වැඩ ටික රනිල් ඇල්ලුවා. රනිල් කරපු හොර වැඩ ටික මෛත්‍රී ඇල්ලුවා. So that is good. If you see from the governance point of view, there may be a bad thing also sometimes when you start conflicting with each other, that's bad also. But governance point of view, it's good. Because both of them were independent to each other and that put both of them in the best behavior. Then next one is setting up of remuneration committee and an audit committee in listed companies. What is remuneration committee? Paying, money paying. ගොඩක් වෙලාවට ඔය directorsලා ඇයි ඔක්කොම ජරා වැඩ කරන්නේ? Now, whatever the company profits, the profits the company earn goes to who? Goes to the shareholders. But before those profits goes to the shareholders will decide how much remuneration we should pay to the directors. Directors' bonus is how much? සාමාන්‍යයෙන් මිනිස්සු ඔක්කොම ජරා වැඩ කරන්නේ මොනා හින්දාද? සල්ලි හින්දා. That's the truth, no? All the dirty things, horror, boru, vancha, murder, most of the time they do because of money. Money is the motivational factor. So that is why you must control. You must control money being given to the directors. If the directors know අපිට මෙච්චරයි හම්බ වෙන්නේ කියලා එතකොට හොර බොරු වංචා වැඩ කරයිද? No. They know. අපි කොච්චර දඟලුවත් වැඩක් නැහැ. මෙච්චරයි හම්බ වෙන්නේ ඒ හින්දා නිකන් හිමු කියලා. Right? So then you see no CTB bus වලයි private bus වලයි private bus එකේ ඇයි කොණ්ඩා මිනිසුන්ව පැක් කරන්නේ? ඇයි driver ඔච්චර හැමින් යන්නේ? ඇයි ඌට දන්නවා වැඩියෙන් passengers ලා හිටියොත් ඌට හොරකම් කරන්න පුළුවන් වැඩි. But CTB buses don't do that. They just normally go. Why? They know for every passenger they issue a ticket, and every ticket that they have issued they have to give money to the depot. Right? They have no way of stealing. So they do a normal job. That's why they do a better job than the private bus. Right? So that finishes director's tute. Taggala balamu company secretary. ඒක පොඩි එකක්. ඒක taggala ඉවර කරන්න පුළුවන් පැය භාගයකින්. Let's see company secretary. Every company should have a company secretary. Every company should have a company secretary. The function of the company secretary is to advise and ensure that the board is following or complying with the Companies Act and or company law in running its affairs. Number 3, consent of the person sought to be appointed as the company secretary should be obtained before he is named as the company secretary. Number 4, such person should certify that he possesses the necessary qualification to act as the company secretary. If qualifications if qualifications are prescribed to act as the secretary in that company. Then fifth one, the board has the power to appoint or remove a secretary. Right? Who is a company secretary? What is the job of the company secretary in the company? Company secretary කෙනෙක් කිව්වම ඔයාගේ හිතේ මැවෙන රූපේ මොකක්ද? ලස්සන sexy girl කෙනෙක් business suit එකේ ඉන්න නේ. That is what you think as secretary. No, that is not the case. Generally, that is a private secretary you are thinking. Company secretary is generally a lawyer. Right? Generally a lawyer or a senior accountant or somebody. Company secretary's job is to advise the director board how to run the company. Now you know, running a company is not easy. There are so many rules and regulations, right? So who knows all these rules and regulations? What resolution to pass? What meeting to keep? AGM the EGM the, right? May form එක මොන වෙලාවෙද යවන්නේ? Who knows all this procedure? Company secretary. Director company secretary ගෙන් තමයි අහන්නේ අපි දැන් මේක කොහොමද කරන්නේ කියලා. තේරුණාද? So the company secretary knows all the procedures, functions, formalities on how to run the company. හරියට ගත්තොත් වෙඩින් එකක් තියනවා කියලා කියමුකෝ. ඕගලන්ට දන්නවද වෙඩින් එකේ චාරිත්‍ර වාරිත්‍ර? කසාද බඳින්නේ නේ ඉන්නේ ළමයි. දන්නවද චාරිත්‍ර වාරිත්‍ර මොනවද කියලා? මොන වෙලාවෙද අෂ්ටක කියන්නේ, මොන වෙලාවද ජයමංගල ගාථාව කියන්නේ? නේ මොන වෙලාවෙද කකුල් හොදන්නේ? නේ එක එක දේවල් තියෙනවනේ. Do you know it? You don't know. In a funeral, are there certain customs and traditions? Yes. Do you know how to do it? You don't know. Who has knowledge about it? There are people. No, what do you do? එහෙම මොනාරි දෙයක් වුණොත් you call them. අවිල්ලා කියනවා අනේ අපිට අවිල්ලා උදව් කරන්න. They will tell මේක කරන්න, අරක කරන්න, දැන් අරක ගේන්න, මේක ගේන්න. No. So like that only company secretary. Company secretary knows the procedure, how to run the company. Knows these companies act by heart. හරිද? Companies act එක හොඳට දන්නවා. එයා කියනවා මොනවද කරන්න ඕනේ කියලා. ඔයාට ප්‍රශ්නයක් ඇති වුණොත් මේක කොහොමද කරන්නේ? Company secretary will tell මෙහෙම තමයි කරන්නේ. Ordinary resolution එකක් pass කරන්න, මේව 28 days notice යවන්න, all those things. Right? So that is what it says. Every company should have a company secretary. Right? There must be a person who he is doing the functions of a company secretary, because registrar එක එක ලියුම් යවන්නේ කවුද? Company secretary. හරිද? So there must be a company secretary who is dealing with the registrar and who holds all these registers. We learned, can you remember, register of shareholders, register of charges, all those things. Then the function of the company secretary is to advise and ensure that the board is following, complying with the Companies Act and or company law in running its affairs. So the company secretary's job is what? Advising and making sure the board of directors are following the Companies Act and the company law. Consent of the person sought to be appointed as the company secretary should be obtained before he is named as the company secretary. Habai, before you appoint a company secretary, you must get the permission of that person agreeing to be the company secretary. කාවවත් බලෙන් appoint කරන්න බෑ. Then such person should certify that he possesses the necessary qualifications to act as the secretary, if qualifications are prescribed to act as secretary in the company. Right? Generally in public companies, you need to be a qualified company secretary. To be a director, do you need to be academically qualified? No. Generally no, except in banking companies. But to be a secretary, you need to be, especially in public companies, you need to be academically qualified. You need to have a qualification. Right? එහෙම තියෙනවා requirement එකක් ඒ qualification එක තියෙන්න ඕනේ. Then fifth one, the board has the power to appoint or remove a secretary. Right? Who appoints secretaries? Who removes secretaries? The board of directors. Okay? Then let's see qualifications of a secretary. Generally, a company can have any person as its secretary, whether qualified or not. Whether qualified or not. Seventh one, however, the registrar of companies, having regard to the nature of the duties that the secretary will be called upon to discharge, can prescribe that a company with the following criteria should have only qualified persons as its secretary. A, if company's turnover is rupees 1 million or more, or B, if the company's stated capital is rupees 500,000 or more. Harida, now in every company there must be a person who is doing the company secretary's job. But there is no requirement that he has to be qualified necessarily. Okay, habai the registrar of companies, depending on the type of company, can tell these type of companies should have a qualified secretary kiyala, he can specify a qualification. Harida, like it says, if the company's turnover is rupees 1 million or more, or B, if the company's stated capital is rupees 500,000 or more, then you need to have right qualified persons. And who will state what are the qualifications? The the registrar of companies will state. Then let's see apparent or ostensible authority of a secretary. A secretary has apparent authority to make administrative contracts on behalf of the company. Administrative contracts include A, purchasing stationery, B, hiring vehicles for the administrative purpose, C, renting equipment for the administrative purpose, D, recruiting employees. Number 10, when he makes such a contract, the company is bound by it, even though he may make use of that contract for his personal advantage. 11th one, however, secretary does not have apparent authority to do the following activities. A, borrow money on behalf of the company. B, make trading contracts on company's behalf. C, to delete a name from the register of members. D, to call for a general meeting on his own authority. Right? Now if you take, right, in a company there are two types of transactions. right? Okay. If you take a company, right? Who is the agent of this company? If the company is the principal, who is considered as the agent of the company? The board. Board of directors. Board of directors. Harida? So, whatever the directors do, the company is responsible. Harida, whatever the directors do, the company is responsible. But if you see the transactions the company do can be divided into two. Business and administrative. Business transactions can only be done by directors. Only directors can do it. Can do it. But administrative transactions, directors plus company secretary. Right? Directors plus company secretary. Right, what are administrative contracts here? It says purchasing stationery. ඔය ඔෆිස් එක මේන්ටේන් කරන්න අවශ්‍ය ගනුදෙනු like purchasing stationery, then hiring vehicles for administrative purpose. ඔෆිස් එකේ වැඩවලට renting equipment for the administrative purpose. ඔෆිස් එකේ වැඩවලට you hire equipment on rent. Then recruiting employees. You give jobs to employees. That is again an administrative contract. Harida? Now as I told you, ඔගලන් company එකට ගියාම එතන ලොක්කො directors ලා. Directors ලාත් එක්කම එතන ඉන්නවා තව එක්කෙනෙක් company secretary කෙනෙක්. ඇත්තටම ඔගලන් එතන ගිහිලා බැලුවොත් directors ලාත් අහන්නේ එයාගෙන් තමයි එක එක දේවල්. You will think, යා තමයි ලොකුම ලොක්කා කියලා. හරිද? That is how third parties see. That is how third parties see. Because directors ලා ඒගොල්ලන්ගෙන් එයාගෙන් අහලා තමයි උත්තර දෙන්නේ. Then what will you think? එයා වෙන්නේ නැති ලොකුම ලොක්කා කියලා. Right? But later if you find out that නිකන් හරි එයා ඇවිල්ලා පස්සේ කිව්වොත් නේ අපි ගමු ඔයා ඉන්ටර්විව් එකකට යනවා කියලා කම්පැනි එකකට. එතන ඉන්නවා ඩිරෙක්ටර් බෝඩ් එක. කම්පැනි සෙක්‍රටරිත් ඉන්නවා. ඩිරෙක්ටර් බෝඩ් එකෙන් ඔයාගෙන් දිගට හරහට ප්‍රශ්න අහනවා. හැබැයි පස්සේ කම්පැනි සෙක්‍රටරි කෙනුත් අහනවා ඇත්ත නේද මෙහෙම කියලා. කම්පැනි සෙක්‍රටරි තමයි ඔව් මෙහෙම කියලා කියන්නේ. So basically you will right? What happens? You will consider two the company secretary as the biggest boss. Ara mata matakai, I went to the CID to make a complaint with my client. Mama ithin tie okkama gahagena court එකක් දාගෙන ගියා CID එකට. CID එකට ගිහිල්ලා there was a nice, very nice officer. I sat with him, with my client, and we were making the complaint. That officer is a very good officer, right? අපි ඉතින් යාළුවෝ වගේ කතා කර කර නේ තමයි හිටියේ. එතකොටම ගෙනාවා new recruits to the CID. ඔය young police officers. පොඩි කොල්ලෝ ටිකක්, right? උන් එතන ගිහිල්ලා ඉන්න ඉන්ස්පෙක්ටර්ට සැලුට් එක ගැහුවා. ඉන්ස්පෙක්ටර් යනකොට සැලුට් එක ගන්නවා. හරි? දැන් උන් දැන්නේ ඇවිල්ලා තියෙන පොලිසියට හැම එකටම සැලුට් ගන්නවා. හරිද? කොහොම හරි මම මගේ වැඩේ ඉවර වෙලා টয়ලට් එකට යන්න ඕනේ වුණා. මම টয়ලට් එකට යනකොට ඌ මටත් සැලුට් ගන්නවා. Right? Because he is thinking I am also part of the CID. But he doesn't know that I have come there to make a complaint. Kiela. Right? So that is what happens when it comes to a company secretary also. You go to the company, you see the director boards, they are the loco. Etana inno company secretary. And if the company secretary deals with you, is the company responsible? No. Business transactions, the company is not responsible. Right? Company is not responsible. That is why now they have changed the law. They are saying, no. When it comes to administrative contracts, not only the directors, but also company secretary can do it. So the company is responsible. Right? So that is what it says here. So let's see. When 10th one, when he makes such contract, the company is bound by it, even though he make use of that contract for his personal advantage. However, secretary does not have apparent authority to do the following activities. What are they? Borrow money on behalf of the company. So those things can only be done by directors. Make trading contracts, that is business contracts, in the company's behalf. C, to delete a name from the register of members. Right? And D, to call for a general meeting on his own authority. Meva karanna baha. Understood? Then let's quickly see the position of a company secretary. Ek vitarak tag gala balama ivara karanna. A company secretary was earlier treated as a clerk or as a servant of a company. He did not have any power or authority to represent or to enter into contracts on behalf of the company. Barnett and Company versus South London Tramways Company. In this case, House of Lords held that a secretary is a mere servant. His position is that he should do what he is told to do. No one can presume that he has any authority to represent a company in making contracts. In 1887, right, the company told company secretary is mere clerk. Kya nikam nikam clerk kenek, kya nikam nikam servant kenek. Right? How can third parties think that he has the authority to enter into contract on behalf of the company? No, that is not the case. Kiela, whatever contracts third parties entered with company secretary, courts didn't recognize on behalf of the company. Right? They told, even if the company secretary has entered into a contract with third parties on behalf of the company, company is not responsible. Because the third party has entered into contract with wrong persons. Understood? So that was the case in Barnett and Company versus South London Tramways. Etanadit monada vela tiyenne? Right? They have hired a cab or something. Right? The company secretary has hired a cab, telling it is for the company, and later he has gone on a trip with his girlfriend. Harida, Passe, when the company asked, when the company asked money from the company told we are not liable to pay because he has taken it for personal use. We are not responsible. Then the cab company told, how do we know? This is taken for personal use or business use, we don't know. Company secretary innoa, ogalange company eya thamai order kare, api eyata thamai service dunne. They argued. But the courts told, look here, only directors, if they order, their company is responsible. Company secretary ordering cabs, company is not responsible. That was the case. But later what happened? 13th one, but over the years, a company secretary has become a much more important person. Now he is treated as a chief administrative officer. Chief administrative officer of the company. Number 14, he is entitled to make administrative contracts. Administrative contracts on behalf of the company. 15, he is required to possess professional qualifications to function as a secretary. As a secretary. Even directors or any other officers are not expected to have these qualifications. But you will see, as time went by, now the earlier case was in 1887, as time went by, the secretary became a very important person, right? Qualifications were required to become a secretary, and secretaries started playing a very important role, right? So now you can't say whatever the secretary does, company is not responsible. Secretary has to be made responsible. Then this case happened in 1971, Panorama Developments Limited versus Fidelis Furnishing. In this case, a company secretary hired a car, stating it to be for the company purpose. But in fact, he used the car for his own private purpose. The company refused to pay for the hire. Court held that the company secretary may hire cars on behalf of the company because such contract includes to be an administrative contract. Therefore, if he has hired a car, company is liable to pay even though it was used for his own purpose because the secretary has an apparent authority to make administrative contracts. Lord Denning, in giving the above judgment, said company secretary is a much more important person nowadays than he was in 1887. He is an officer of the company with extensive duties and responsibilities. This appears not only in the Modern Companies Act, but also by the role he plays in the day-to-day business of the companies. He is no longer a mere clerk. He is entitled to sign contracts with the administrative side of the company's affairs. So, almost 100 years later, there was another case, and there they told, now the company secretary is a very important person. Now he can enter into contracts with regard to administrative nature, but still no business, right? So now any transactions that is useful to run the office of the company, right? The company secretary can enter into contracts. You will see, go home and see question number 2018 June 1B and 2017 June 1B. Right, so we'll stop from there and continue on next Sunday.